Hi guys, it's Mar, and today I'm going to be talking about my experience in res. Thanks for clicking on this week's video. I'm going to be talking about my experience in res and how it was for me last year. I'm going into second year at Western University, and in first year I lived in Ontario Hall at Western University. I lived in Ontario Hall. It's one of the newest ones, and it's from 2013, so if you're interested to hear more about it, definitely stay tuned. But in the meantime, if you're interested in hearing about more content about university and seeing my university life, especially going into second year, moving in and getting used to cooking for myself, definitely go and press subscribe down below, and also like if you like this video. It really means a lot. If you have any questions or anything that I missed, feel free to comment down below or DM me on Instagram at Marisa Wong _. I'll also be posting a lot more about my day-to-day life on there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my self-plug done. But thanks for watching, and let's get into the video. So like I said, I lived in Ontario Hall. O-Hall is what we called it. And this is one of the newest residences at Western. It's a hybrid style residence, which means it's half apartment style, half like traditional. And that's like you have not a full kitchen, but you have like a sink and your own semi-private bathroom. I loved O-Hall. It's really new, really modern, or not really modern, but more modern. The location of O-Hall is a little bit more inconvenient. It's 15 minutes away from like Central Campus by walk. So it's a little bit more of a trek, but I think it's totally worth it. Yeah, and I loved it there. I'm going to talk first about the amenities and what O-Hall has, because if you guys have seen my room tour, which if you haven't, I'll put it up here. It'll be really useful when I talk specifically more about my room. But definitely go watch that one after. I'll link it down below as well. But like you guys saw that, and what you really didn't see was like the cafeteria and the gym and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to talk about what they have, and you can see what it looks like on their virtual tour, but yeah, I'll just list what they have. So one thing that I really appreciated that they had was a music room. They have 2 music rooms, and it's basically just like a study room, but there's a piano in it. The one on the first floor is literally a study room with a piano in it, and then the one in the lobby on the 3rd floor is just like a glass, it's not glass so people can look in, but it's like a room with basically just a piano and a piano bench. So I see people practice other instruments in there, obviously because you don't want to practice it right in your room with your roommates, but yeah, I reuse that one a lot. I played piano like maybe once every 2 weeks, so I really enjoyed that. They also have 2 laundry rooms, so there's one on the 3rd floor in the lobby, and then the other one is in the caf, and that one is bigger, but it's also busier in my opinion. We have a gym as well, and that's also in the lobby 3rd floor, and that's right next to the laundry room, so sometimes I'd bring my laundry down and work out, and then right when the hour's up I'd switch it to the dryer and go upstairs and shower and come down and grab my laundry. It's pretty perfect. But the gym is pretty decent sized, obviously not that big, but I went there majority of the time because the big gym was just kind of too far away from me. It was more convenient to go to the little gym. So they have like 2 like mirror areas, which doesn't mean it's big, like they're really close to each other. Then there's 2 ellipticals, 2 bikes, a bench, and then there's 1 machine, and that machine has this pull down bar thing, the chest press one, and then the leg one where you're lying on it and you like lift your legs, you know, or you can go on your belly, that one. And we also had a chin bar and free weights. So I thought that was adequate for what my friends and I were doing. Yeah, like just to like stay fit and keep active, not to like really bulk up. But yeah, the gym was really good. And then each floor has study rooms. There's 1 main lounge, and that's on the 1st floor, and it's pretty big. They have like foosball table, pool table, or ping pong table, one of them. Do they have a foosball? I don't know. They have some sort of games. They have, what's that, bean bags, and like they have like events down there sometimes. So they'd have like study events. One time they brought puppies in, that type of thing. So that's like the main lounge in the whole building, and then each floor has 3 lounges. There's your main one with like couches and a TV and a sink for everyone to use, and then some like study space. And they're really nice and glass all over around, so it's really open. And then they have the fish bowl, and we called it the fish bowl because one whole wall is glass, and anytime someone walks down the hallway, you're looking at them and they're looking at you, and it's awkward and it's kind of distracting, but sometimes we didn't mind it. But this one has a whiteboard. We like semi-use this one, not our favorite one to use because you can stare at everyone and nobody can stare at you again. And then the final one is a small study room, and it's like literally a little square room. There's windows, of course, a whiteboard, and then 2 like square tables and 4 chairs. And we use this one a lot more actually. We use this a lot in the beginning of the year. And yeah, I didn't mind it. It's pretty good. As well as like the floor stuff, there's also a media room at O Hall. Don't know about the other reses, but I know O Hall has a media room, and they have like little lounge chairs, and they have a bigger TV, a nicer sound system, and you can hook up your computer to do HDMI. And we watched Alvin and the Chipmunks and Midsummer right when Corona was announced and we had to go home. So we did that while we were waiting for our flights. And then some girls also stream The Bachelor there. Like every week it was a thing, so it's really cute actually. Like definitely take advantage of that one because I don't think a lot of people know about it in the beginning of the year. And then they're also in Old Hall, since the newer one, they have room for offices. So these are not like student offices, obviously, they're like the res staff offices, and that includes a bunch of things, but one of them is res counseling, which I'll talk about later. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my room. I lived in a double, and it was hybrid, of course, because I lived at O Hall. But I loved my double. Definitely watch my room tour. I'll put the link down below. I love the doubles. You have a lot more room, in my opinion, because you can arrange the beds differently. With the doubles, you get the storage room, which the singles also get, and a shared semi-private bathroom with your suite mates. One thing that the single rooms doesn't have that the doubles do is a sink and like a kitchenette area. So we put our coffee machine there, our kettles, we would have our own dish rack there, and like a sink. And I really liked having that. I could make tea and wash my own dishes right there instead of having to go all the way down the hall to the lounge. Yeah, so I loved my double. I liked that the double was bigger, so when we would have friends over, there was like room for people to stand and sit. Whereas I think in the singles, it's just a little bit like your standing space is a little skinnier because your desk's on one side, your bed's on the other. It's like not much room. I really liked the double. And you get instant like 3 friends, your suite mates and your roommate. Definitely, if I had to choose again, I would choose the double. Then I'm going to talk about the calf, because that's a pretty hot topic. I know everyone's always like, the calf food, it's probably not going to be good. O Hall has the best calf of all the residences at Western, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of other people's opinions. It's pretty new. We have a lot of like different bars and types of food. The only thing I would say, and I think this is all around Western res food, is it's oily and salty, so you can always ask for less of whatever you want, especially stir-fried. Like ask for no oil, and it'll like won't be as gross and heavy feeling. But the calf is really good. They would have every month like some sort of cultural food event. So like Chinese New Year, they have that, Diwali, all those types of things, like Christmas dinners, Thanksgiving dinners. But you basically walk in and there's an interactive bar that's like choose your own. It's kind of like Chipotle, but like they did avocado toast at the end of the year, which was so good. And then they do like tacos or like, you know, stuff like that, and you can choose. They did pho, lots of different types of things, but that's the interactive bar. The next one is like the regular buffet, and that's like well, like your normal buffet hot food is. And then after that they have like a stir fry section, and that's also kind of like Chipotle, but you like can choose like greens and different like proteins like tofu, and you put it in a bowl and you walk to the stir fry thing and they'll fry it all up for you. Ask if you want rice or noodles and like beef or chicken or whatever. And that was really good. You can definitely get sick of things, so don't like get the same thing over and over again. But that's a good option. And then after that they have the vegan vegetarian section, and that, to be honest, I'm dairy free. So sometimes it's kind of annoying to ask every time if there's dairy in something, but they didn't have that many great options for vegan vegetarian. I know that's a concern when you are vegan or vegetarian or have some sort of dietary need. Talk to the chef. I'll call it Chef Andrew. He's actually really a good guy. Love him. He can like talk with the chefs to make sure that you always have an option, because of course like the dietary needs change every year. After that they have a deli, and you can make your own sandwiches and like flatbread pizzas, which is really good. Wraps, kind of like a Subway. They also have like a little sushi section. Not that great, don't get sushi. They have a salad / fruit bar, like a breakfast bar in the mornings with like yogurt and granola and fruit and cereal. At the back they have like coffee tea section, and then they have an actual like smoothie, like get a cappuccino. They're not that great. I don't drink coffee, I don't know, but I'm assuming they're not that great. Like drink section, and then right at the end they have fridges full of like grab-and-go foods or like Powerade, that type of stuff. So sometimes we'd run and get chasers there before we went out. But yeah, that's like pretty much the CAF. The staff are really nice. You just like take your dishes and put them on a conveyor belt at the end. And yeah, I'm quite happy with the CAF. Just like make sure you ask for something if it's like too oily or gross, you know? So like make the most of it. The next thing I'm going to talk about is like the res staff. So there's the res staff, which are your RAs and Johns. Don't know the difference. They have the same job, so I think it's just seniority. The RAs are super nice. They are kind of like your big brother or sister or big sibling, and they're like a really good resource to go to when you are kind of confused or like you're trying to book flights home and when do exams usually end. They have floor meetings with everyone, and they should create a group chat so you're in contact with everyone on your floor for floor meeting. I love my RA. I had Anna. She was really nice. Yeah, like if we got lice in residence, so I don't know if I told you guys that, but we got lice in residence, and we found out and we texted her and she was like, crap. So she like helped us figure out what to do with all the stuff, like quarantining our lice like sheets and stuff and bags and all the type of stuff. So it's like literally like anything they can help you deal with, they're there to help you transition. And that also is kind of the jobs of your res staffs. So res staffs are not technically res staff. Ask them how they get paid, because they don't. It's really interesting. It's like a volunteering job. You think they get paid, but they don't. So there's 3 res staffs for my floor anyways. To be honest, I was only really close with one of mine, Moves. Shout out to Moves. You're definitely not watching this, but shout out to Moves. He lived right next to us, so we were really close with him. And they are basically there to be your friends. So, like, be friendly to them, they'll be friendly to you. That's their job, to help you, again, like, get used to being in res and away from home. But yeah, I loved Moves. Kind of questionable sometimes, I meant, but, yeah. By the end of it, we were like giving each other advice. We were like really friends, and like I know I'm gonna see him when I'm back in London, so that's really exciting. Yeah, make connections with your softs. It's fun to have connections in higher years. Parties too, it helps. Getting your alcohol. You can hear it here, but yeah, that's a good resource. They're really there to be your friends. Our floor, as for the dynamic, it was kind of weird. There was like groups of people that we liked, groups of people that we were like, I don't really know who you are, and then some that we were like friends with. So it really depends. Like all my group of friends, 4 or 5 of us lived on 5 West, and Sharpie, who didn't was friends with Nicole, so that's how we know her. The floor dynamic is going to be different for every floor. I think it has a lot to do with the softs and RAs and like the type of people on your floor, so just be friendly to everyone. That's my biggest tip. Like, everyone is trying to find new friends in first year, especially in res, because it's so convenient to have friends like in your building. So I don't know, I think just be friendly and good things will happen. We didn't make we as in me and Abby, because we are the same, we didn't make our close group of friends until a month in, and we were like, we didn't connect with anyone right away, and we were concerned. And like, looking back at it now, I'm so glad that we didn't make friends sooner, because if I had made friends with other people I wouldn't have had time or the opportunity to meet the friends that I have now, and I love the friends that I have now. So yeah, like, I'm very grateful. So like, if you're stressing about that, like, just know it'll kind of work out. There's so many different types of people. OHAL has, if it's the same every year, the LGBTQA+ floor, and they have like the living learning communities. So like, there's so many different types of people. I think there's a couple other living learning communities, I don't know which ones, but like, yeah, you're bound to find people that you like, in my opinion. You just have to be open to it. And I guess with friends comes like drama, sort of. I didn't really experience some drama because I didn't, like, it just didn't happen. I didn't really know that many other people in residence, or like, I'm not really one to like have issues with people, or like allow people who I know will create issues in my life. So I didn't have as many problems, but some of my friends definitely did. And like, seeing people in the cafeteria is kind of interesting, so get used to that one. But like, I don't know, just, you're out of high school and you're with a whole new group of people. You have a giant opportunity to meet people who add value to your life, so I think it's really important to remember like what you're there for. And like, drama is so high school, in my opinion, like, whatever. Obviously it's hard to get rid of drama if someone's saying stuff about you, but you kind of just gotta like tough it up and be the bigger person, just like not pay them any attention. So drama, I didn't experience any, but like, you don't have to, basically, because I didn't. And then for studying, like I mentioned, there are study rooms on every floor. If you're planning on using the study rooms, definitely think ahead, because they get taken pretty fast. Sometimes we'd walk all around the West Wing to every single study room, and there'd be people in everyone. So you kind of have to scout it out early and like put your stuff down, pretend you went to the caf, that type of thing. If you don't like studying in the study rooms, your room's always an option. I think it's easier to study in your room in a single room, but even in like the double room, for me, I just can't study that close to my bed because it's so tempting. So what I did a lot is I went to Ivy, and they have a Starbucks there. It's a really nice building. They have bean tables, which are really cute. I love the bean tables. And it's just like a good environment for studying. At OHAL, you're also close to the other Starbucks on Oxford and Warncliffe, so I would go down there. That's like a 5-minute bus ride. But yeah, I like studying. You kind of gotta figure out what you like, what you don't like, what's productive for you and what isn't, and then you can really get down your schedule. But as for studying in OHAL, it was pretty good. During midterms and finals, they would have events in that main lounge on the first floor about like just straight up studying, and they'd bring in more tables and more chairs, and it's just a quiet space for you to study and find help also. And then going back to res counseling, which is the final thing I'm going to talk about. Res counseling is a service that you are already paying for with your tuition. It's in room 3C10 at OHAL, and they are basically just like a therapist, psychologist. They have their degrees and everything. And at OHAL, I believe there's only 2. I think it's a girl and a guy. And I talked to them. I didn't hear of very many people who talked about them or really knew who they were, or went to them, at least, like, not that they vocalized it to me, but yeah, like, I never really heard conversation about people actually going, and it's a useful thing, and you're paying for it. So if you are, like, struggling, or you're just, like, you're not feeling good, it's definitely a really good resource, and there's zero shame in going at all. You're paying for that shit, so make your money's worth. And, like, if you're struggling, this, like, you don't need to struggle. Life does not have to be, like, an uphill battle all the time. So I would really recommend doing that. That's pretty much the last thing I want to talk about. That's, like, all really there is to living in res. It's really nice. Eventually you, like, build up your schedule, and I would really recommend working out as early as you can, and, like, creating a healthy lifestyle, because I lost a lot of muscle in the first month. I loved my experience in res, especially at OHA. I met some of my closest friends and the girls that I'm living with next year there. You really have to make the most of your experience, especially if in 2020 we're not staying for the whole time. If there is a second wave, like, just make the most of it. You only get to do it once. I'm, like, really sad actually that our year ended early. Obviously could be worse. I love my experience in res. If you have any of your own experiences to share with people, definitely comment down below. If you have questions, comment down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it a like and subscribe down below for more content like this. I'm going to be uploading some special videos in the next couple of weeks. It's definitely a stepping stone for my channel. Just, like, creating content for you guys. It's really exciting stuff. It's also going to be tied to my Instagram, the content that I'll be creating. So definitely follow me on Instagram at Marisa Wong _, and thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.